I believe we have split the atom of breakfast.
Hi, Zach.
Hello, Spike.
Nice to meet you, man.
You too. I'm very excited to talk to you. Big fan for a long time. Talk show was like the way people a few years older than me talk about Conan. Talk show was my like.
That's
this is like the cool hot comedy that like my parents might not get.
No, they definitely won't. Thank you for saying so.
So it's an honor in that respect, and also because I just saw your new movie yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And loved it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, so can you tell me a little bit about, first of all, just getting the band back together, getting that writing team that you have, and being like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. Well, we had, I begged Jerry to give me 2 hours. I said, look, none of us are doing anything. It's a horrible pandemic. Just give me 2 hours, and let's see if we can get anywhere in this Pop-Tart story we've been talking about for 10 years. He said, let's do it. So, we got together on a Tuesday. We had a lot of laughs. It was really fun for all of us to be doing something in the middle of that mess. And he said, let's get together Thursday and keep talking. And it was kind of that momentum just continued. The story started developing. We never really thought we were going to pitch it, let alone make it. At some point, Jerry said, well, maybe George Clooney could play the lead in it if we ended up doing it, but we're not going to do it. But let's keep meeting. And, we had fun because we had no parental supervision. We had no studios, no agencies. It was just us. In fact, I was probably the only parent. And I was like, right, let's write whatever we want. And we wrote I think 230 pages of a script that might cost $1 billion. I mean, whatever we wanted to happen, we wrote, and it was liberating and really fun. And then at some point, Jerry said, I think I want to direct this, and I think I want to star in it. And I went, oh, all right, well, let's get serious and start writing this and in a way that we could actually sell it. And now here we are. We cut it down. We looked at it like producers. We figured out what would actually help the story, and it wasn't just us fooling around. And that's the movie you just watched.
Major news from the breakfast world. The Post Cereal Company has reportedly invented a shelf-stable fruit pastry breakfast product.
No.
Yeah.
It still has such a sense of fun to it, such a sense of we don't really care what anyone might think. We're just going to go for the laugh.
I'm so happy that you're saying that, because the writing of it and the shooting of it was that. Every day was really fun, and we were laughing like crazy, and we couldn't believe we got to make this movie. And I keep hearing that somehow it's giving off. People are sensing that, but it was a joy. This one was really a joy.
There's such a sense of that. Jerry talks about it. He's talked about it in interviews here and there, but just valuing the laugh over anything else.
That's it.
And doing whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And it's so weirdly refreshing to see a movie where it's just like, oh, this is as pure as a Tom and Jerry cartoon in its way,
That's, I keep getting questions today about how did you come up with the tone and make all these decisions? And you just answered the question right there. If it was funny, Jerry said, we're doing it. That's it. And that's when I first met Jerry and Larry on Seinfeld. Guess what they said? If it's funny, we're going to. It was such a simple idea. And I went, right. That's right. We're writing comedy. We should pursue funny things. And it's unique. It really is unique. You would think all comedies do that. They don't.
It's tricky because the show, had his name on it. Where does the ego come into play or not come into play when it's like, oh, this is so funny. Why isn't this my line?
Yeah, well, he's not like that, but I think what he is like is what he. Like anything, whatever we think is funny. If you're part of the creative community, you're hoping that you can do something that is entertaining to you and other people feel the same way as you do. But you never know, including this project, you never know. But Jerry's a guy who's got a pretty long track record of going, what I find funny, a lot of people seem to find funny, and he just uses that as a guiding principle.
Tell me a little bit about this incredible cast that you've assembled, did you have any names in mind while you were writing it, or at least in the latter part of writing it, where you're like, oh, this would be funny if Christian Slater was the milkman?
No, that was inspired casting later on that I think might have come our way from by Christy Carlson, who did our casting. It was amazing. But early on, the three big ones were Jim Gaffigan, looks like a Kellogg. We don't even know what that means, but he looks like someone who would have been handed the keys to a company 6 generations down and would blow it. And Melissa McCarthy, we're like, she's got to do something in our movie. I think originally we were, off thinking about different parts, but then we thought, well, wouldn't she be good as like our George character next to our Jerry character? And then the third one was Daniel Day-Lewis, who we didn't get in the movie. We thought, why don't we bring him out of retirement and give him a part in this film? I think he's a cobbler now. I think he's making shoes. Wouldn't that be fun? Because we were watching, like I think a lot of us were doing, we were watching a lot of YouTube. And that was a lot of Mad Men and a lot of There Will Be Blood. And for us, there was nothing more entertaining than those two, that series and that movie. Like we would watch There Will Be Blood and go, that end scene where they're beating each other up with bowling pins, that all that's happening there is they just ran out of money. And the director came in that day and just said, look, just do something. We've got an hour left. Kill each other. I don't care. But this is today. It ends today. So, we would take these long breaks while we were writing and watch different parts of those movies on YouTube and just, I'm going to bury you underground, Eli, and just laugh and go, maybe we should just put him in this movie. Maybe we should just get these guys and put them in. And, it ends up, you'll see when you watch the movie that especially those two projects kind of infuse certain moments of this comedy.
Sure. Did you ever actually reach out to him and he said no, or?
We didn't know how to find him. It was this, I was like a detective trying to figure it out. No agency had a contact for him. I mean, went to the highest levels. I think at some point I heard Sandler knew him and was buddied up to him. So I reached out to Robert Smigel, who was working with Sandler in Paris, and he goes, he might, hold on. He goes, no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's not even hanging out with him. I don't know where you got that information. So like we tried and tried and tried. So maybe the next one.
Can you say specifically what role you thought of for him? Or is it something that's not in the movie?
I think we were just we wanted to find out what part he wanted to play. Mm-hmm. That's all. We were just interested in having him in the movie in any way, and we were going to start with, how much time can you give us?
Well, I guess that's a good place to start.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Without stepping on any other parts and actors, I mean, it was just more important to get a guy like that in the movie. But I think I can think of like 4 or 5 parts we would have offered him. But we couldn't talk to him. We couldn't. Jerry wanted to get on the phone with him. We were ready to fly to Ireland or wherever the hell he was.
And it's his loss at the end of the day. I mean, this would have been a feather in the cap of his career.
I'm so sure he's very upset. May 3rd on Netflix, he's going to be like, oh.
He's gonna be like, I could have made it finally in this industry.
He's putting together his clogs.
Well, thank you so much. The movie is a delight. It's an honor to get to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
And I mean, don't make me wait another 10 years for the next one, or what? Take as much time as you need. You
were just with Jerry. Tell him, not me. I'm ready to go.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. Hit the ground running. All right. Thanks so much.
It's not to scale, but
what are you guys, 5 years old? Little John draws better than that, and I think there's something wrong with him.